Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, Valerie Ames, Tia Ma'at, and I am just doing this reading because I just felt led to do it. There is so much going on right now, as far as evolution, as far as planetary shift, as far as us awakening and receiving um, deeper levels of communication, and being able to tap into ourselves um, at a much deeper level than we ever have before because we want to and it's time. We've been doing the work. We've been knowing ourselves. We've been trying to learn to be who we are, and to be the highest frequency of that knowing of who we are. So, beloveds, let's just see what the cards have to say for us. This is just a very, very general. There is nothing specific about this at all. Um, it's just I want to hear what the cards have to say. Um, Simply because, like I said, so many changes have been taking place, and it's just, wow, very powerful. Okay, that's too many. One more. I'm just trying to get one more card here. Um, and I'm shuffling. And this is coming from the Abraham Hicks, Esther and Jerry Hicks. I can't talk today. Um, that deck. So, let's see. I'll just pull one. There we go. And we have our three. And the first one is this one. And yes, that's all I'm going to say is this one. No, I'm just joking. Um, this one is I can't stop attracting don't wants by attracting to do wants. This is number 38, which is an 11. Wow. Again, I see the sun and the moon, so we're dealing with duality. We're dealing with moon and solar energies here. I'm seeing a lot of green. I'm seeing a lot of purples. So for me, that's telling me that it is definitely about growth, and it is divine growth because of the purple that I'm seeing in it. Let's see what the card says itself. You cannot rid the world of things that bother you. You have got to rid your vibration of things that bother you. And when you rid your vibration of things that bother you, no things that bother you can come. Powerful. But you cannot really rid anything from your vibration because there is no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. The only way to stop attracting something that you don't want is by giving your attention to something that you do want. But you have to take small steps in it. And again, this is that card. And I hope you can see it. I love the face. I love the face. To me is like a moon waxing, waning, full, crescent. They're just, everything is there in that. And you can see the solar up there, and you can see the lunar right here. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Um, and I like it too because the solar energy, she's holding the lunar energy, but the solar energy is coming from above. So that's the ascending and descending energies. And to be able to tap into them, we're being told to focus on what we do want. Focus on, see the vision, give birth to the vision of what you want, and put it together just like a puzzle. And do not look at what you don't have or the pieces that you don't have or you don't know how you're going to get them or whatever. Just go for it. because right now with the energy the way it is, we are able to tap into abundance and to co-create anything that we can give birth to. Anything that we can conceive right now, we can give birth to it. Okay, let's move forward with the next card. The next card is my life is about my relationships. Wow. And this is card number 1. And I'm looking at this, and there are stars and just planets and grids. I'm seeing the brain being the grids, and the reaching and the fulfillment of stars and the communication with all the ancestors. This is just a very beautiful card. And again, it's card number 1. My life is about my relationships. You will never find yourself in a point in time when the subject of relationships is not an active part of your new experience. For everything you perceive or notice or know is because of your relationship with something else. Without a comparative experience, you would be unable to perceive or focus any kind of understanding within yourself. Therefore, it is accurate to say that without relationships, you could not exist at all. So, beloveds, what I'm getting from this is that there is a duality, and there is as we are evolving, we are comparing and competing and knowing, and that is how we are knowing ourselves. We are looking at the things that we do not like about ourselves so that we can change them. We are making judgments upon ourselves so that we can raise ourselves up. And that is how I'm looking at this card. And I'm also looking at it as the word new on here is in italics. And the word active keeps popping out at me. When the subject of relationships is not an active part of your now experience, not new, Valerie, now. Huh. For everything you perceive or notice or know is because of your relationship with something else. That is infinite intelligence at work, beloveds, because we are in charge of what we put together to look at, to compare, as far as the relationships and what we're relating to them, what we're seeing as patterns, what we're seeing as repetition, what we're seeing as feelings. And it's not about the other person because you're not them. You'll never truly, you can get a feeling for how they really think and feel, but you are not them. And unless you're tapping into them psychically and intuitively and telepathically, you do not know what they're feeling or thinking. You only know what they say or judge it from what you see. And if there isn't a lot of communication going on, we make all kinds of assumptions based upon things that we have already experienced because we don't have anything else to judge it on, to balance and weigh it on, to measure it on. So this is a very powerful card, and it's really right on point, especially with where the world is right now in its relationships. And this has a lot to do with our identity, who you know yourself to be. You can't relate to another being if you're not clear on who you are. And being clear on who you are means you know your own weaknesses, you know your own faults, you know who you are. You know that you may have a weird or different or freaky sense of humor that everybody else may not get, or may be corny to other people, but it tickles you, you know, and that's okay. We're diverse. We're supposed to appreciate different things. We're supposed to value different things. Again, that is the part of understanding forming relationships. And we really need to go forward into the new world. We need to look at that. We need to look at how we establish relationships with others, with ourselves, um, with our daily activities even. What is my, I'm looking at my relationship to um, housekeeping and getting things ready for winter, getting things ready for fall, and doing all of that and dealing with the temperatures, the fluctuations, and the seasonal changes, and all of this. My being sensitive, I'm already aware of it. My body is like already doing its thing. So it's letting me know, change is here, change is upon you. Adapt, get ready. Something is happening, something is changing. And so I'm listening. Let's look at the last card, beloveds. Beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. And this is number 22. We've had an 11, a 1, and a 22. Wow. And I'm going to show you this card. And again, we have the sun, the solar energy, beloved. And I love the way that this right here is coming through her hands. Let me read it. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want. We are co-creators. We manifest it. If we think it, we manifest it. We make it happen. We put it into action. So we need to be really mindful with the way that we think, especially negative thoughts, because the very things that we don't want to happen, we are giving it power. So we've got to practice and get it right. Just keep going with baby steps, and you will get it. You will get it. Pretty soon you'll learn how to focus just and only on what you want, and how to laser beam your intent and focus into that. And as you're doing that, everything that is opposite or outside of that won't happen, because you're not empowering it to happen. Okay. Um, like I said, I'm experiencing a lot of physical stuff. So there's nausea. There's just all kind of changes, fluctuations right now. And I know I'm not the only one that's feeling them. So that's another part of the reason I'm sharing. I'm not looking for pity or sympathy or any of that. It's just that if others are experiencing changes, understand that it's part of the natural order right now. It's part of what you are going to feel. Um, and just be gentle with yourself. Just get as much rest as you can, and as much water. I am finding that I am so thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. And being a diabetic, I really watch that, because thirst for me means my sugar is up. And that is not the case, though. But the thirst is there. And that is, just like that card said, it's environmental. Um, Also, as you're doing a lot, this is what I'm learning too. Spirit is letting me know that when you're transmuting poisons, it takes a lot of your energy, and you really have to replenish yourself, especially with fluids and liquids, the electrolytes in your body, and so forth and so on, because on a molecular level, when you are transmuting, you are really burning up some serious energy um, with your fluids. So with your body fluids. Um, so on an alchemical level, you really want to stay hydrated. You really want to. Um, for me, I have to make sure um, that everything is my alkaline pH is okay because it gets crazy every now and then. Let me move forward with this card, beloved. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want, and there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you? Excuse me. How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. So again, this is being in tune with yourself, beloved, as well as your environment, and being mindful of the thoughts that you are feeding your soul, yourself. Um, are they affirming? Are they going to open you up so that you can go deeper into deeper thoughts about yourself, deeper thoughts about whatever situation, deeper thoughts about your ability to transcend, to ascend, to rise, to handle what comes at you, to be you, to be the ultimate you that you want to be. That's perfect with that. I'm going to move forward now to the Medicine Woman deck, um, and just going to shuffle. And I'm going to just pull one card from here because I don't want this to be a very long reading. It's very general, very, very general. It just needed to be done, I felt. Okay, we got that one. Wheel of Fortune number 10, Harvest. Corn Mama, Cornucopia. Again, we have that solar, we have the stars. And again, this is a seasonal time, beloveds. Harvest is seasonal time. And if you are not very familiar with what harvest is, you should Google it because it's very fundamental right now to the knowledge of self. Um, Here we go. Page 76, which is 13. Okay, here we go. Harvest. Number 10, manifestation. Traditional name, Wheel of Fortune. Medicine Woman energy, the season's harvest. Affirmation. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination has become true through my words and actions. The Creator is embodied in me. I gratefully accept the harvest of my creation. The card speaks. You have heard it spoken. The Word has become flesh and dwells among us. The word you have kept in your mind for good or evil have come into material form. The images you have dwelled on have become real. That which you have imagined in has come into actual being. This goes to, for me, thinking that something is too good to be true. So this is just a beautiful reminder that, Valerie, you're creating. You're co-creating and you're creating. You know, this is you. And I have to be mindful of that. And I have to keep telling myself that because that is not the programming we receive, you know. But that's the programming that we now have to program ourselves with. We have to redirect our thoughts each time we I don't deserve that, or I can't do that, or I'm not qualified, or I didn't go to school for that, or blah, 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 blah. No, you're God. You're a child of God. It's in you. You have all the gifts and the abilities. You just have to trust and believe in yourself. Okay, here we go. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination has become true through my words and actions. That which you have imagined in has come into actual being. In the beginning was the word you held in your mind, spoke through your mouth, and now the son of that word is here. The word is embodied in your flesh. Whatsoever you have sown, so will you reap. The time is now. I am the wheel of life, the turning of the seeds you have sown. You may count on me to bring good luck if you have listened and followed levels, cards 0 through 9. And that's the fool through 9. Let me see. 74. Hold on just a second, beloveds. I just want to see. Okay, it doesn't give the breakdown of what the cards are. At least I don't see the breakdown. Okay, I don't see the breakdown of it, but 1 through 9, beloved, of the tarot cards is, nope, don't see it. Okay. That's why I'm going to do a class with this book, do a workshop, do a series with this book. I am the law of karma. You have put your energy out into the world in certain ways. These include thoughts as well as actions, and now, whatever you have given returns. This is the rhythm of life. This is the rhythm of emotion. Anger begets anger. Joy begets joy. One cycle is completed. You have now experienced in fullness a certain aspect of your life. If you have done your inner work, a desire has been realized. Yes, it has. A new step in your spiritual journey will unfold before you now. You begin the wheel of fortune spinning when you took a gamble. As the fool, you stepped into new territory. You tried using your present personality and environment in some new ways. As the magician, as the high priestess, you began to see yourself as a casual force. Then, as empress, you looked with love upon the person full of potential that you are. As emperor, I didn't have to look after all, it's right here. As emperor, you began to make a structure to put that potential to work. Listening to the voice within, the Hierophant, you figured out just how to interface with the world. And the Hierophant is the Taurus card. Wow. Okay. Listening to the voice within, the Hierophant, you figured out just how to interface with the world. Working together, you become lovers with your inner world, bringing it into outer manifestation. Wow. In the chariot, you experienced your accomplishments. Then you built up your inner strength until you could stand alone and steady as the hermit, lighting the way for others who follow. This is the turning of the wheel of tarot. I bring you the results of this whole energy cycle. Your task now is to accept. Rejoice, be glad in what is, and go on just as the gambler might have a drink to the game after a round of cards. Salute. And go on just as the gambler might have a drink to the game after a round of cards, whether she or he has won or lost. Celebrate now just because you have come this far. Give a toast to the flow. Shake hands with your friends for a game well played. As a medicine woman, you understand now that the seeds you gave to the wind through your nurturing have grown into the food that nourishes yourself. You have used the tools at hand, seeking vision from within as to how to take these everyday things and make them work for you. You looked and listened to Earth, your environment. You took command of your resources. You carried in your heart the vibration of peace, seeking the good of the whole. Through your loving action, you found a great spirit, which then flowed through you as you moved through the challenges you encountered. Your imagining power of mind, like a strong horse, carried you through the strongest opposition. In your wisdom, you called on the healing forces, and guidance came to you. Aho, ashe, 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 amen. Now you rest. This is the way of the medicine woman. Card 0 through 10. This is the journey of the medicine wheel. Self-questioning. Do I allow myself to rest after my cycle of work? Do I accept what I have done after I have done it? Or do I use this time to criticize myself? See, this is where the reprogramming comes in, because now you really have to examine your inside world. You have to examine who you are in your inside world, the powers that you wield inside your inside world, inside your head and inside your heart. Who are you? Who do you know yourself to be? Can you manifest? Can you create? Try. Try. Start with something little and work up to something bigger. And when you know that there's something that you need to change within yourself, do the same thing. Start small. Little small increments will lead you in the right direction. It'll also, with the law of attraction, attract to you what you need. And as this is saying, beloveds, we are at a time now. We've always been told to pray. We've always been told to communicate with spirit. But now is the time where you actually connect. And when you ask now, you will receive so quickly, beloveds, because it's the harvest time. All the things that you've sown can be harvested now. It's time. And it's time because you're getting ready to move into the next phase. And everything that you've learned along the way is going to be applied in this next phase. That is why you went through the things that you went through. No matter how painful, no matter how simple, no matter how enjoyable some of those things were, everything that you have gone through served a purpose. It was to give you an experience so that you could use in this next phase that you're going into. So be thankful. We have to learn to be thankful. Sometimes we don't like the hard lessons. I know I don't. And I will just shut down and shut everybody off until, I figure it out. And people are like, what the hell? WTF? What is your problem, Valerie? But like I tell people, if you know me, you know that I'm very, very sensitive. And when there's so much going on and there is no inner clarity, there is only, how can I say, the chaos of the voices, the arguing, the do it this way, do it that way, blah, 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 and you're like, everybody just shut the hell up. Just please, give me a minute. I need silence. I don't want to be attached to anything. I don't want to be connected to anybody. right now I just need me to get everything aligned, get everything back straight, get everything back focused, and that takes different time for different people. But you need to get into the habit of going within and scanning and doing a self-healing, and you do that with the conversations that you have with yourself, the dialogue, the self-dialogue. You're speaking to God within. That was put within you. It's in your DNA, it's in your sequencing. The same way the color of your eyes or the shape of your face or the gap in your teeth or whatever, it's all been programmed. So you've got to know when you need to delete some programs and reboot and just start over, and whatever you've got to do it, because you are worth it. And if other people do not understand, you just have to let them not understand, because this is for your health and wealth and well-being. And you have to put you first sometimes. You really have to put yourself first sometimes. And for some of us, that is so hard. Um, I know for me, being a single mother, that is, and being born a caretaker, that is something that is so hard, because when you want to do something for yourself, it feels as if you're being selfish. And it's not. It's just self-care. It's just you loving yourself, just you being interested and focused on yourself, instead of giving your energy and empowering everybody else. You are refueling you, because you're at a point where you're almost depleted, or you've reached a point where everything inside of you is just enough, enough, you know, and it sorts it out. And then you go back, because now you're realigned, you're whole, you're not fractured or splintered or all over the place anymore. You've got focus. Okay, excuse me. Let me take a drink of water. Maybe that will help a little bit. There is a taste in my mouth that will not go away. Like I said, for me, this is seasonal. I know that it's seasonal, um, just by the way it feels, and um, it happens every year. This is not the seasonal depression. This is being aware of the changes. Just like in the spring, my body is aware of the changes in the pollen, in the air, in the waters, in the trees themselves, in everything. So that's about self-knowing, self-questioning. Let's move forward. Exercise. Make a wheel of fortune by drawing a circle, dividing it into the major areas of your life, such as health, relationships, work, spirituality, enjoyment, and whatever categories you prefer to use. Then find magazine photos or draw in those images of things you would like to see happen through you in the next 6 months of time. Note that I said through you, not to you. Put the wheel of fortune where you will notice it every day. The images will implant in your subconscious and seemingly without effort begin to draw you into situations and learnings which will bring about the results you have imagined in. Meditation. Imagine that you are sitting before a large wheel of fortune. Give it a spin and see if the jackpot is yours today. If you are off the mark, ask what is interfering with your good luck. Visualization. If your easy and relaxed way, in your easy and relaxed way, Begin to daydream of all the good, fortunate things you have wished for and received. Make your images clear, detailed, and colorful. Let yourself see how much you have harvested. See the support you have been given by various people's own lives. Allow the richness of your resources to become clear. Then give the mental command that your ability to draw to yourself the things, people, and situations you desire is increasing daily, and that your desires are ever constantly aligning with the greatest good for all. Enjoy. Astrological sign, Jupiter. Food. If you were wise enough to plant a garden, now is your time to reap the harvest. Prepare a feast of foods you have nurtured and loved, and feel the warmth and energy they return to you. Colors. Violet is the ray that clears old karma. It has been called the karmic eraser. Whether you wear it or meditate on it, its action is to clean out the molasses of confused thinking and limiting beliefs and make space in your body cells to hold the light. And I hear to hold the light is to anchor the light. The medicine wheel. There are medicine wheels of various kinds in every ancient tradition, though they may be laid out in stone or known only inwardly. The sacred circles teach the laws of life. These are your chakras, beloveds, as well. A wheel turns. When you place at one point comes back to you later. What you place at one point comes back to you later. The wheel of fortune, as we know it in the games of chance, seems to bring us unexpected good fortune or loss. But the truth is, though it may be unexpected, it is not entirely unpredictable. It is just that usually by the time the results come in, we have long since forgotten our initial output and its connection to those results. That is so true for me. I will, um, one of the ways it has been um, explained to me is that emptying yourself, I'm always emptying so that I can receive. So what I put out, I'm not focused on that. I've done it. It's like a chicken laying eggs. I've laid that egg, it can come get collected and used or whatever. I'm not focused on that egg anymore. It's done. Excuse me. And so that is how I've been these last 3 years. I've been operating that I haven't been holding on to anything. I've just been like, okay. And just witnessing and observing and almost not even being present, you know. I'm making myself be present. I'll put it that way. And this is a wonderful understanding that even though I feel like I'm the chicken that laid the egg and the egg is, and I'm done with that egg, the connection is always there. The connection is always there. And that egg is going to come back to me in some shape, form, or fashion, simply because I manifested it to do so as a seed. That was my intention. Wow. Okay. Spirit. The medicine woman inner guidebook works with the four powers medicine wheel, a multi-level circle of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energies that flow through you strongly at particular times of the year. In the north direction, the wheel is at winter, a time that quite naturally turns your focus to how well you have prepared yourself materially for winter weather. Is your home secure? Your wood in? Your car battery charged? Is there food stored for the long cold season? Even if you do not live in a cold climate or have to provide your own food and heat from your direct manual labor, these urges are primal. I hope. My mama, she did the canning. My mother My mother and father were migrant workers for the longest time, and that was their ethics. That was their work ethics. They were up before the sun and in bed, before just about before, because they had to get up. That was their routine. That was how they knew to take care of themselves too, so that they could do the work, so that they could take care and provide for us, me and my brother, the family. And beloveds, we have got to learn once again how to get into these rhythms and cycles, because they are productive when we do so. And this is what the indigenous ones used, and it became natural to them. It became an internal clock to them. And they used it along with the weather and the observation of the stars and everything else to map out wisdom and infinite intelligence. And they've given us that infinite intelligence. They've passed it on. But we have fallen in love with technology, and we no longer rely upon our inward clocks. We no longer we look to calendars to see what month and what day it is. Look at watches to see what time it is. How many of us can look at the sun and tell what time it is? Whether it's noon or 3 o'clock, or the old ones could. Okay, let's move forward. There are still preparations to make for the outgrowth of spring, if you want to have the greatest sense of renewal when that season arrives. In the east, spring rises. It is the energy of dawn, of inspiration, hope, excitement, new adventure. It is a sexual time, a creative time, an uplifting, renewing, spiritually exciting time. Your energy quite naturally goes outward to new pursuits, new people. You want to plant, whether you plant seeds for flowers, food, or future fun. The whole earth is saying, now is the time. In the South, summer is upon us. This is when your garden flourishes. Every seed you have planted emotionally, your wishes and desires, must be carefully watered by a clear mind. You are to weed your mind of thoughts that interfere with growth and maturity of those things you started in spring. No abandoning ship. Those things you started in spring. No abandoning ship here unless you want to lose the harvest. It is a time for sorting out, planning, and developing. You carry toward maturity those things you began in your spring inspiration stage. Fall at the west gate of the wheel will show you what you have done. Your labors will bear fruit, and that which needs to be put to rest will be destroyed. Fall will find you fine-tuning your relationships and getting ready for a long, cozy winter. Sorry. If you understand that the wheel asks you to prepare for the time forthcoming, if you pay no attention to the cycles and seasons of life and the energies they call into play, you will be constantly surprised and not always happy with what Lady Luck brings you. Find your place on the wheel and attend to the energies it is calling from you now. And that is the harvest card, beloved. What a beautiful card. And it's right on point. Right on point. The last card that I'm going to, last deck, is the Isis Oracle deck, just to get information from Mama on where we are. And just okay. That card fly? No. No? Okay. Had to check because sometimes these cards will fly, beloveds, and I'm trying not to look at them. because I don't want to influence them. I want it to be from Spirit, from Mama. Mama, please. Mama Isis, give us a focal point for this day. Something to plant inside of us. Something that we need to water and to think upon. Talisman of potency, charged sacred items of power. This card keeps coming up, beloveds. Talismans of potency, charged sacred objects of power. One of the things that's coming through with this card for me, because like I said, this card has come up a lot lately in the readings, beloveds, is that you need to know just how powerful you are, and that you can consecrate. You can make holy anything you choose to. You can change the energy of something if you choose to, with your intention, with your energy, with your thought processes, with your intentions even. Let me get to it, because let me show the card. I haven't even showed it. Okay. And beloveds, those wings on her head always catch me. Always catch me. Because I'm like, wow. But that is the mantling of Nekbet, the vulture. That is the mantling. Her thoughts are protected. They are protected, and the Wajit is here. The Ujet is here, the cobra. And the horns. There is so much here. The knot of Isis, which is usually red, but it's blue here. And it's blue because she's turned it into an amulet. Okay, let's look and see what Elena Fairchild has to say about talismans of potency. 170, which is an 8. And I'm going to take another sip of water here. Okay. Okay, talisman of potency, charged sacred objects of power. Sacred tools and objects can become an extension of your energy field, focusing your power and intention, helping you heal the split between spirit and matter, and learning to bring physical matter more deeply into light and life. You are encouraged to work with sacred materials in a conscious way to help your own healing and enjoyment of the material world as a part of your spiritual practice. Your love for the physical world of matter is a gift to the earth too. Again, this is handwork, beloveds. This is crafting of something with your hands, with love. Whether you're making jewelry, whether you're making bracelets, whether you're making baskets, whether you're making a picture, whether you're knitting, crocheting, whether you're doing leather work, whether you're doing whatever, do something with your hands that is sacred. Learn to know that while you're twisting or you're braiding or you're cooking or whatever you're putting your soul into it. You're putting your soul into it. And because you put your soul into it, others can feel that. They can just like with soul food, they taste it. They taste the love. It comforts, it soothes, it fills. The smell, the taste, the textures, it's all sensory. So you really have to be in tune with the things that you create and know that the things that you create have the power to harm or to heal. And the more that you do with your hands, make sure that you're doing the healing work. I'm being told that as I get ready to do my um, cleaning of this house, of this apartment, the way I want to, that I'm going to have to do some prayers and um, do some laying of hands on some things so that I can change the energies and the frequencies that are here, because right now the energies and frequencies are so heavy that it is, I don't want to use the word depressive, but repressive. I'll put it that way. It's repressive. So it's about being sensitive enough to focus in on what needs your attention and what you can do to bring about the change that you need to in order to feel what you need to feel, or create the sacred space in which you need to manifest, or to begin manifesting, or to begin seeding. Okay, let's move forward with this. Sorry. 5157. You are guided to cleanse and charge sacred objects to empower your energy field and accomplish your spiritual mission now. These objects might be a wand, a chalice, a sword, a bowl, or even a special tile with an image that you love, a statue, cloth with a beautiful design, a natural crystal, or a black mirror, or a rock, shell, or feather you found waiting for you. Whilst out in nature one day, hold on just a second. The other day, this was waiting for me when I went on my balcony and I brought it in. And it's just as beautiful as it wants to be. I love the shadings, the colors of it. It's just beautiful. It's just a little pigeon feather, but, or a wood dove, because we have wood doves around here. And I love them. And I hear them um, in the winter when it's getting ready to be fall time. That's when you hear the wood doves a lot. And they just sound so beautiful to me. And I was so thankful, for that was a gift for me. That was that was a gift from nature, from Mama. So I'm like, oh, thank you, Mama. And I'm like I said, learn to consecrate things. Sorry, I'm putting it back where it was, but this is what we're being told, beloveds, to look out for the gifts and to understand that those gifts bring about energies that can be very beneficial to you if you are aware of how to use them and what they are. And if you're not sure, ask. Ask your guides, ask um, your angels, ask. Ask what is this? What is, excuse me for adjusting my stuff, but it is what it is. So, um, okay, let me get to it. If finding a gift in nature, it is wise to ask the spirit of earth If the item in question is intended for your healing work, I was told yes, I'm to put it with crystals. And if you feel it is, then of course, receive it with gratitude. If not, bless it and move on. This oracle is seeking to draw your awareness to your special ability to work with material objects to awaken spiritual light within them. The material world is filled with light, and our loving attention can help awaken that light within form. In the same way that someone seeing the best in you, knowing what you are truly capable of, can help you reach your goal, reach your dreams, and become that self more fully. So too can holding an awareness that just like our bodies, the material world holds its own light and benefits from love, attention, and care. This is the loving art of integrating spirit into matter, and it is part of your own spiritual potency and healing gift to be able to love the physical world as an element of your spiritual journey. And what I'm receiving while I was reading that to you, beloveds, is once again Saint Germain and the violet flame, and that is the laying on of hands, and you're being able to um just as that story is in the Bible of the lady who had been bleeding for the longest time. Her menses wouldn't stop. And she was an old lady, and she knew. She said to herself, if I could just touch his garment as he walks by, that's all I need to do. I don't need to touch him. I don't need to be in his face. I don't need none to do none of it. All I need to do is just touch his clothes, and I'll be okay. I know that. I know. And that woman got herself up and she got there in that crowd and she put herself in a place where she would be have access to touch as he passed by. And she did. And he felt the energy leaving him. So, and in the crowd he said, who touched me? And his apostle, Lord, we in the crowd. What you mean who touched you? And he said, I just felt energy go out of me. Someone just took energy from me. And, the disciples is like, crazy ass. And the woman comes up and she says, I did it. I have been bleeding all this time, and I told myself that if I could just touch the hem of your garment, that I would be made whole. And he told her, because of your faith. Wasn't because of the energy that you got from me. It was because of what? Your faith. Your faith healed you. You touched that fabric and you empowered it to heal you. See what I'm saying? This is what this card is all about. It is about knowing that what you touch and what you bless will happen. You've got to do it with your heart. It's got to be faith. You can't have doubts. You can't second guess yourself. You have to be committed. And what did she have to lose? And nobody didn't have to believe her. She knew within herself, if I could just touch. How do you think she knew that? Her guides, her instincts, her intuition, her recognition of his energy, her understanding that all she needed to do was connect, that it was the connection. And that in just that brief connection, miracles happen and can happen and do happen when you believe. So we have got to learn to put faith in ourselves. We have got to learn to understand just how powerful, just how strong, just how beautiful, just how commanding we are, and just how deserving of unconditional love we are. We are not sinners. We do not deserve to suffer, but we are God's. And if that is what we believe, and if that is what we put our faith in, that is what we manifest. That is what we anchor. That is what we hold on to. And as soon as we get to the point where we no longer want to give this matrix our power, when we no longer want to listen to it, when we can say, you ain't my mama, I ain't got to listen to you, that's when the changes happen. That is when the beauty takes place, because that is when you detach from the matrix tit, okay? And that's when you put your mouth back on nature, because you are a natural being. You're not a technological being. You are not a accident. You're none of those things. You are designed for a specific reason, with a specific purpose. Know yourself. Okay. And I'm sorry. Okay, beloveds, I'm probably going to repeat something again because I lost my way. Objects become talismans when they are cleansed. No, I didn't get there. This oracle, okay, I'm just going to shut up and read, beloveds, because that way I won't be losing my place and keep repeating this. Okay. I'm feeling the energies that's getting ready to storm. So I like I said, I'm sensitive. The oracle is seeking to draw your awareness to your special ability to work with material objects to awaken spiritual light within them. The material world is filled with light, and our loving attention can help awaken that light within form. In the same way that someone seeing the best in you, knowing what you are truly capable of, can help you reach your dreams and become that self more fully, so too can holding on awareness that just like our bodies, the material world holds its own light and benefits from love, attention, and care. That is how we reverse what we have done to the earth, by giving her love, attention, and care. The same way we would for our children, same way we would for our pets. We have to see her as a living being, and we have to care for her in such a manner, connect with her in such a way that we want to care for her, that we love her enough that she matters to us, you know? And right now, you can't say the earth matters to us with the way that we are allowing her to be attacked and dominated and raped and pillaged and exploited and sold. Okay. Sorry. I'm passionate. And like I said, it's getting ready to storm, so there's all kind of little neutrons and protons and atoms and molecular stuff and all of that booming and bouncing together right now. So it is what it is. This is also a way to heal any difficult relationship that you may have had with your mother, your body, eating and food, or with financial or physical security. It can also include difficulties in bringing your ideas into physical form, living your path in a practical and material way, and any other issues that stem from a wounded relationship to matter, somehow seeing it as less than spirit. What wonderful and varied healing effects talismans can bring to us. It all starts with the honoring of light and matter, the sacredness of the material world. If you have been considering working with crystals for healing, or tarot cards or physical tools for spiritual growth, you are encouraged to do so by the oracle or talisman of potency. They will help you grow and empower you. If you have an object in your space that you have been thinking of cleansing, perhaps a crystal or piece of jewelry, this oracle encourages you to do so using breath, salt, moonlight, or sound, as you so choose. Remember that objects in the material world hold vibrations too. Cleansing with love and intention to dissipate, dissipate negative energy is a way to care for the material world, helping awaken the light within it. If you have been considering building sacred jewelry or purchasing a crystal or other healing tool, you are encouraged to do so and learn to work with it. The oracle or talismans of potency support you in honoring the physical world and its beauty in your life in this way. Okay, Mama. Mama is telling me I need to build some stuff with some crystals, maybe make some wands and do some handwork on some things like I used to do when I was a little girl. Okay. Have your sacred object with you that you wish to dedicate as a talisman. Have a piece of silk or cotton or other natural fabric or, or lovely patterned material ready to hold your object after the ceremony. Say aloud, I call upon the beings that love me unconditionally. I call upon my own soul, light, for clear intent, power, peace, protection, and unconditional love. Bless this ritual. May all within it be for the greatest good, so be it. Pick up your sacred object with your left hand. Hold your right hand above it. Say, I give thanks for you. I give thanks for the service you will render, and I honor you with care, attention, and respect. I cleanse you of all negative energies now. Breathe in deeply and then do 3 fast exhale breaths swiftly over the object, visualizing negative energy being blown away on the breath. Focus on your heart and the crown of your head being filled with light and that light flowing down through your hands and feet. Visualize the light flowing from your body along your right arm. Half of that energy remains circulating in your body for healing and wellness, while the other half pours out of your right hand into the object until it is filled with light, so much that the light flows out from it and surrounds it. Say, you are cleansed. You are charged with divine light of intent. My intention is for blah, blah, blah. Add your intention for this piece. Examples are healing, abundance, strength, clarity, love, power, and so on. May this intention manifest for the greatest good and in unconditional love through my own free will, so be it. Keep sending the light, then repeat the following incantation below. After 3 repetitions, wrap your object in a silk or cotton piece of fabric and keep it out of regular view for sacred usage and respect. It is best to redo this exercise if the piece is used a lot for healing or handled by another. And this is the incantation, beloveds. You can say this incantation to bless an item during your ritual or for a mini blessing and cleansing at any time. Sacred object from the earth, you are cleansed now from negativity. You are clear and pure light of eternity. Sacred talisman, now become. You are charged with light of perfection. You are blessed with divine intention. Sacred talisman, I honor your power. This is your task for every hour. And repeat your intention here. For example, cleanse and protect my energy field with a shield of impenetrable violet light. Through my own free will, with gratitude in my heart, so full, so be it. And that was that card. And beloveds, that is going to do it for this reading. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and listening. And I also want to say that it may not seem like it, but I get so much joy out of doing these videos. That is why I do them, because they bring me immense joy. Um, and I get to share and just interact with a lot of different energies. I'll put it that way. So again, um, beloveds, thank you um, for watching and for listening. And if you want to know when I'm doing other videos, subscribe and you'll know. Everything will be in the description box below. The cards that I did use, I mentioned them. So if you don't see them in there, if you watch the video, you'll know which decks I used and everything else. Well, that's all that's coming through. So we're going to close it 111:26. Okay, beloveds, that's it. Namaste. Love us all. Love us all.